So what is gonna happen now is shit is gonna go down.
So should I do some cool cameraman work?
Yeah, do it.
Alright, I'm gonna film Rami.
What is happening?
This is our game.
And this here is the giant green button that we need to be pressing.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Make
I
magic.
love you. I love you
All right.
all.
Let's do a countdown.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo! We made a video game! Vlambeer is basically me and TW. I'm Rami. I do the business and development, and
I'm JW.
he does the game design. The way we work is basically JW is the idea guy that then prototypes a bunch of stuff, and then we argue about everything, and then we make video games.
Yeah,
That's like the short version,
and then
right?
you sell them.
And then we sell them.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Radical fishing is what allowed us to be here right now. That made us our first bit of money and that got us started. We were just two students who were about to quit school and make games.
We were at a school and we were trying to make games, but it just didn't click for us. We decided to just do it and start a company. The main thing I go to GDC for is see everybody again, because this is like the one event that everybody goes to. The first time we got here was when Super Crate Box was IGF nominated, right?
Yeah,
So that was a pretty big
that
thing.
was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
When we were still little boys.
I'm amused by how this is called Crate and Barrel, and I don't know why.
Wow, you put a word in the title. That's really cool.
No, I mean Bethesda kind of did that with
Yeah, and when you
scrolls,
see the
right?
Super Duper burger, I'm like, whoa, that's
Whoa,
so cool.
Super Crate
It
Box.
says super.
There used to be a really good burger place there, but
Yeah, I went there yesterday.
is it still there?
That's the Super Crate burger.
So normally I do long talks. I tend to give talks that last half an hour or an hour. This is an indie soapbox session, so it's just 5 minutes. I want to talk about how more developers should be at consumer-facing events. So events that show games to gamers. For us, it has always worked really well. And the one time we didn't do it, it was a disaster that led to a year and a half of hardship and demotivation. So
What was that?
that was the clone. We didn't talk about ridiculous fishing at all until the clone hit. We didn't show anybody what the game was about because we're like, we're gonna do this really well, and then right before launch we'll show everybody and it will be really great. And it wasn't. It was terrible.
Well, the ninja fishing thing just kind of hit us. We were working on like the new version of Ridiculous Fishing.
There was this sudden explosion of tweets that we normally don't see, and it basically said that somebody had ripped off Radical Fishing.
At first, I was like, well, it's fine, it's not a big deal. You know, who knows what this game's like, it's probably not gonna be as good, or maybe it won't be very successful.
We downloaded it from YouTube, and we went through it frame by frame to look at the store, because they had one really quick sort of shot of the store where they scrolled through a lot of the items, and basically every item that we had in the game was also in their game.
When it happened, we put the game on hold right away and were super upset and didn't really know what to do. And I remember there was a real flurry of emails between Rami and Stanley, and that was pretty intense.
The ninja fishing guys sent us an email saying, yeah, we were inspired by Radical Fishing. Then they said, yeah, we were going to give you credit, but it's going to happen in the next update. No, we don't want credit. We want you to make a different game, or, you know, at least delay this so we have a fair chance, because we're working on the same thing and this is our game.
Please delay your game. Please delay your game. We'll work on Ridiculous Fishing exclusively, and when it's done, we launch at the same time and may the best game win. And then the reply was, sorry, we launched Ninja Fishing yesterday, and it was in the App Store and it was doing well and getting great reviews and making money, and that was that. Then it was over.
A lot of games get cloned and we knew that it sucked, but we certainly didn't think they were going to make so much money.
I felt, yeah, like wasn't good enough. I didn't do it fast. We didn't make the game fast enough. We should have been working harder.
Reviews started coming in saying how great the game was and that they thought it was going to be a Fruit Ninja clone, but it had this whole original layer of creativity. Like, I don't care about getting credit for my work because people get influenced by everyone, but it sucks to see other people get praised for stealing your stuff.
Obviously we considered like legal action, because if somebody steals something from you, like the first sort of defense you have is like, well, maybe we can sue them, right? Maybe we can stop this from happening. So we did inquire about that, but the problem is that game ideas are not protected.
People often think, when they hear the term cloning, they think that necessarily means that it's wrongful, that copying is necessarily copyright infringement. And there's an important distinction, because if you copy elements of a game that aren't protectable by copyright, that's okay.
Game ideas should be open to take and copy and remix, basically, to take an idea that you really like in one game and play with that and consider, like, how can I make this better or different or more interesting or make something else out of it. And so it turned into this weird lose-lose situation where we would either win and then create a situation in which game ideas can be protected, versus we spend a lot of time and money that we'd rather spend on making games on legal whatevers.
When you're working with a small studio, when you're just a couple people, anything you do that's not making games is going to impact your ability to make them. And dragging through a huge court case with somebody who has a lot of money because they made a very successful game, it is sort of a statement that we don't want to make a game.
And then, 3 months went by where nothing happened.
So before the clone hit, we had this idea of where the game was going. We knew that we started here and we wanted to be there, and it went like we worked in this direction towards that goal. And when the clone hit, we stopped working on the game together.
I emailed Rami, I'm like, we have to get this game done. We have to set a deadline and we have to kill it if it's not done by that deadline.
We sort of set this ultimatum for ourselves that if we didn't get the game done, we'd cancel it.
Yeah, that was like our New Year's resolution.
We were gonna finish Ridiculous Fishing.
I'm buying a one-way ticket to New York, and I'm not leaving until the game is done.
Greg Woolwind, our artist, basically stayed at Zach's house until the game was done.
Zach and I lived in his apartment for a month, working like 14-hour days until it was done.
And then suddenly all the random cool stuff was put in. Everybody had ideas and we didn't have time for anything, but they all came into the game.
One of the things that was kind of an upside to the project being such a nightmare and taking so long, the 2 years that the game took were a really good amount of time for us to become really close friends. And as corny as that sounds, that really helped when we were designing the game in the end.
The game was really fun. I beat it 7 times in January, and I just played through it over and over. It was just addicting.
All the plans that we had for launching the game just came together in such a beautiful way. The reviews started coming in. It was like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, best game on iOS ever. And then we basically appeared on Metacritic as the highest rated game of 2013, and it was like, what just happened? And it just kept going and going, and it kept, like, every time we thought it couldn't get any crazier, it got crazier.
What we wanted really was that people would love the game and that they would understand that when you clone something, you really do get an inferior product.
People, whether they're developers or gamers, they want to let us know and reassure us that creativity in the end does win, and making games because you want to make games instead of making games as just a way to earn money is the better way to be doing this.
It's like I still don't understand any of it.
We don't really know what happened. We know we worked really hard to get here. And to see everything pan out like this, it's really, really nice.